Hello and welcome everybody, hope that you're good and it's time for the brand new Team Rocket wave, bringing in the Johto starters as the Shadow Shinies off of the Rocket leaders. So Cliff now has Cyndaquil, Sierra now has Totodile, which we actually managed to battle one of, and our Midnight Balloon, which almost turned out to be a Hundo Shadow, which was insane. And finally Arlo of course has Chikorita. Now, this is probably leading up to Legends ZA, which is coming out I think in October, and the Rocket wave will still be going on at that point. So we're going to load up the games. We've got boosted Team Rocket grunts, we've got still the Tandemaus event running for the next 2 days, and more importantly, Shadow Altered Giratina is coming from the Giovanni battles for the next 3 months or so. This is still a Drillbur nest. Fantastic. Here is the research. We've actually managed to get a couple of bits and pieces done already, so to catch a few Pokemon. And speaking of catching Pokemon, let's check our research breakthrough, because I haven't done this in a long time. It's another Charcadet of 302. I think it's actually 1 CP worse than the one we had last week. Let me know, are you excited for this new Rocket wave? Because on the surface, it doesn't seem like there's much change in terms of the Rocket grunts. We've got 4 new Shadows added into the Rockets. We've got Pikipek, Fletchling, Staryu, and Grubbin. So not crazy in terms of an overhaul, but the plan is today is to get this Giovanni research ticked off. And let me know in the comments below if you've done the same on day one, or are you taking it chilled, or are you not too fussed about the Altered Giratina? Because Altered Giratina really only has play in PvP, and that's due to its bulk, and I don't think that the Shadow complements that terribly well. But it's cool, it ticks off a Shadow Legendary. I like to get one of each personally. The Team Rocket research hasn't changed since the last iteration of it. It's basically purify and catch a bit, defeat some grunts, defeat some more grunts, purify a bit more. Then it's the Team Rocket leaders. You need to do 1 of each on stage 3. Then the 4th stage is beat Giovanni, find Giovanni and encounter him basically. 5th stage is auto completed. It's fairly easy. It's not timed as research, which is really always nice and appreciated. But I do like, of course, the fact that it's actually 78 kilometers water. It's not too bad at all. It's the way that the season wraps up, which is really good. Don't forget you can TM frustration away during the course of this next 7 days. And the weekend from 6 AM on Saturday till 9 PM on Sunday, your local time, brings in Shadow Shiny Potential Kyogre into the raids. Still means there's good scope for Tandemaus in the research, which is really nice. But let's get these components done and dusted, and an encounter with an Ekans. Do you know what I'm missing? And it made me think about it when I was with JT and he was composing his Team Rocket road trip thing that you may or may not have seen. If you haven't, please go and check out that video because it's a sick edit. But it was really nice to see that being put together. We got to purify and defeat 6. Simple. Oh, we just picked up a Hundo Drillbur from the little ones we caught. Okay, I did not expect that. Great, we have a Hundo for the day, people. Jesse and James, they need to come back to the game. It's been, what, 2-3 years since they were added last into a Team Rocket event. Seriously, in terms of an overdue return, Jesse and James are very much in need of one. And just for the sake of the check, Dynamax Rukadi, not a shiny, and 365. So we've got 6 grunts done and dusted, and actually of those 6, 3 have been Drillbur, which actually really isn't the worst thing at all. If ground grunts are going to be very common during this wave, I am definitely down for that. But the other thing is, of course, being a Monday, we have Max Monday later. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother doing it. Dynamax Trubbish is now here in the rotation for this week, and of course it just gives me all my Zacian. This is one of the Pokemon, a bit like Rukadi. Yes, you have the Dynamax right now, but its evolution gets a G-Max, and we'll be waiting quite a bit of time before we see those, I think. Oh my god, I took it down without even having to Dynamax. That's the power of super effective stuff. Now, I don't remember the Hundo for Trubbish at all. All I know is it's a Stardust boosted Pokemon, 750 dust per catch, so if you're looking for extra resources, this isn't the worst thing to be chasing, to be honest. And it could be, it's not a Shynamax and 562. Pistachio Latte acquired, by the way. So, 562 is actually a 93. I'm not gonna max it out or evolve it or anything, but what we will do is claim this stage of the research so we can get cracking on the leaders. Get some coughing. Already have one of those from Party Play, thank you very much. Cyndaquil and Totodile are probably the better ones, to be honest, because they are, when they're evolved, extreme glass cannons in the raid system. Not sure about PvP or anything like that, but Meganium used to be good way back in 2020, and I don't think it's seen the light of day for many seasons. But of course, if you can get a Shadow Shiny of it and you can purify it to be a 100%er, then that might lead to something good when they start dropping Legends ZA stuff in there. We've got the deluxe version. It's a Clamperl, that's not a shiny. I'm being harassed by all manner of flora and fauna today. Chimecho is a nice boosted dust Pokemon. Finally, the Chimecho caught an Aerodactyl that could have been shiny. It's actually one of the perma boosted shinies in the game. And a Sableye Oh, it's a Dynamax Sableye. Very nice. It's not the shiny one, unfortunately, but 608 from research. Yeah, dead 2-star. Not unlike everything else from the passes recently for me. We've got a Pawmi here that's not a shiny, unlike the Community Day back in May. We've also got a Chansey of the regular form. We have a Skidoo that's not shiny, unfortunately, but that's actually quite a nice juicy one. It's not a good one. 536, I believe, is the hundo from research for that thing. A Gossifleur. And finally, a Zorua of the Unovan form that is not a shiny one. It turns out to be pretty dead. Dead. Yeah, fantastic. That was such a good use of my time. So the first Rocket Leader we've found is Arlo, who has possibly the worst of the trio, Chikorita. I think we're still going to rock with roughly the same team. Xurkitree has really quick fire moves. So that's what we want to get rid of the shields with, and then Katana can deal with kind of middle mons, and let's see what goes down, really. I'm not really going to chase the Shadow Shinies on these, I've got to be honest. If I happen to do them, I will prioritize the Sierra battles to get the Totodile, get the shield there. Nice. In fact, Chikorita is the only one of these three that we haven't had a Community Day Classic for, and there's no Community Day Classic listed in the next season at all either. Yeah, Chikorita GO Day Classic is very much going to be on the back burner according to the Pokemon Go team. Finally, Ashley, that's alright, it works nicely. Slowbro, weak to 2 of my Pokemon. I will say we've actually got a really lovely day to do this. Whole rocket grind for beautiful sunshine, going to be 31 degrees Celsius later. There you go, Slowbro in the bin. And the final one's going to be Alakazam. Just going to hit it with a fairy move. Let's see what happens. Easy and almost in the bin. Goodbye, Monsieur Zam. We took it down with 1 Pokemon. I know it's a level 50 Hundo Xurkitree, but there are definitely alternatives that could have taken down that lineup. Shadow Shiny check number 1 of the video, properly. It's not. And 305 weather boosted. Actually, 2 of the 3 are going to be weather boosted. 1 star, glorious. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did buy the Team Rocket box that gives you 7 radars for like 1,000 coins, because why the hell not? So that leader we've done. There's 1 in Walpole, okay. This next one that turned out to be a Cliffy boy, and I'm gonna roll with the same lineup again. Let's just see how it goes. This one, of course, is Cyndaquil. We need a water, ground, or rock type with some fast moves to do that one. We should probably switch into Lucario, but definitely remember he's going to have Tyranitar in the back 95% of the time. Actually, Lucario turned out to be weak to Cyndaquil's fire moves. I forgot about that. But it should be easy to burn the shields. Oh my god, it's Annihilate. I hate Annihilate in his lineup. Honestly, it's the worst. So Lucario's going to have to bite the dust. Luckily, our Xurkitree does have a fairy move on it. How much damage is it going to do? Thankfully, not enough damage to cause some serious problems, and actually there should be just about a-okay to get another one to get rid of the Tyranitar. Come on, Xurkitree, charge, sir. There we go, fantastic. And of course it's Tyranitar, we'll smack it with a Dazzling Gleam. I will stress, on these Team Rocket leaders, I am using level 50 Pokemon, which does make a big impact in how easy they are to do. If you're lower level, you definitely need to choose the right Pokemon for the right counter. 1 more Dazzling Gleam, done. Lovely. So that's a Shadow Shiny Cyndaquil incoming. I will say, Cyndaquil is probably my favorite of the 3, but shiny-wise, Totodile probably takes the top spot. So, particularly Shadow Shiny-wise, this isn't Shadow Shiny in 336, because I haven't looked at an infographic yet. This is 2-star. Do have 2 Tandemaus checks. Let's check them on camera since we're here. 1 isn't a shiny. Still looking for that elusive hundo from this wave. This is not a shiny. We did manage to find Sierra down here, having checked a couple of leaders, but this is the good one, Totodile. I think my team worked just about fine last time round, so we're going to rock and roll with the same team. Did finally manage to find a Grubbin and a Pikipek, which is the bug and the flying type, and I think the flying type's got 2 different Pokemon in there. Totodile, we're going to switch in straight away to our Katana, which is going to deal all the damage you're going to need. And I seem to remember from this one, I didn't really need to shield or switch at all, but you do need to deploy the moves at the right times, unless you get Miss Magius. Typically, Sierra has Houndoom as the final Pokemon in the back, so that's why I've got Rhyperior there. But yeah, Katana, see ya later, Sunny Jim. We'll put in Lucario, even though it's going to not do much damage, we'll still be able to burn 1 more shield or use one of ours. I was going to mention it later, but we might as well mention it now since we're plodding through the battle. I'm personally a big fan of the Team Rocket Takeover events because they're one of the few events in Pokemon Go that are free to play, and you can just do the Rocket Grunts, and the Rocket Grunts being boosted, the leaders being boosted, the balloons being boosted all the time. It's something you can do if you want to. It gives you free resources, boosted Stardust and things like that, which is great. Some of the Pokemon are good. I know typically you get trash. So do I. Don't worry. We're all in the same boat here. But I think it's worth time, to be honest, particularly now you can TM Frustration off of it. It's a really solid event, and I'm really glad that it's still sticking around. It's kind of become a more common thing once a season. I remember the times when it used to be lucky we get one of these Rocket Takeovers once a year. Sierra ticks that off, and that means we've done all 3 Rocket Leaders before 12 o'clock, which means we can get Giovanni from the Rocket Balloon if we don't find him in the next 10 minutes, I guess. So it is not the green one, and 235. And that completes a catch 10, which is really good, and it's actually the kind of the Tendo floor. And get our Super Rocket Radar by breaking the research. There we go, good stuff. And where be Giovanni? He must be somewhere. Oh, I think it's actually at my home stops, because literally everywhere, there's one down there in South India. I'm gonna go back towards my home spawns. Shadow Grubbin. I don't know if these new Shadow Pokemon are particularly useful. All I do know is Staryu, gonna come from the Water-type grunts, is 750 dust per catch. That's another Stardust boosted Pokemon that can come from your Rocket Grunts, which I think is quality. Well, we just found a Decoy Grunt, which I don't typically do because I use my radar on the very first day of the events. But if you hold on to your Rocket Radar, your Super one, that means you can get the Shadow Shiny Potential Bellsprout a lot more easily than trying to fight through the Grass Grunts. Although I'm not even sure if it's in the Grass Grunt rotation, to be honest. This is terrible. Also, the weather boost changed. But here is a Giovanni. There's actually Giovanni. Nice. We're gonna have to swap out the Groudon because that was done to take down the Dialga we had. Now we need a Ghost or a Dark type, and I have a suspicion that Tyranitar is gonna be the best bet in terms of speed. See how we do. Of course, he's gonna have Persian, same lineup, and probably the ground stuff in the middle. Giovanni coming in. We didn't even have to use the balloon, which is real nice. I do have to say, I feel like Force Palm Lucario isn't quite as good in these Rocket Grunt battles as the regular one used to be. He seems to be very sluggish. That's probably because I should switch into it, to be honest, but this will knock out the Persian. I remember back in the day in 2019 when this was first a thing and the Rocket Leaders and Giovanni were nigh on impossible to do. Look at that, it's a Rhyperior. Good, we can get ourselves a power-up punch before he kills out the Lucario, before he knocks out our Lucario, and Katana's gonna make light work of it, hopefully. Boom. Do some damage, Lucario. Fight for your life. And then Katana, and we can still switch in to take out that Giratina. Easy. There you go. We might as well try and use a Leaf Blade on the Giratina. Of course, Giratina being the altered form, even the origin form, it's not double weak to anything. It's weak to quite a few different things. Right, let's switch in. Super effective. It is a very, very tanky one. I will say that. And of course, this has got Dragon Breath. It does also get very spammy moves. Ancient Power, Dragon Claw, and Shadow Sneak. So it may spam moves at you. But, ooh, okay, this might be a little bit more of a challenge than I first suspected. At least we can shield. Maybe I should Mega Evolve the Tyranitar. That could probably help. We get a rare circumstance of a YouTuber failing. Can Katana save the day? It might just, yes, do it. There we go. The Ultra Beast pulls through where Tyranitar left off. So that lineup just about works. I would recommend using something a bit more powerful. Mega Evolving the Tyranitar is probably a very good bet. But we battle and defeated Giovanni. And here is Shadow Altered Giratina. A very cool one, and I'm looking forward, hopefully the next one, which will be happening in December or January, probably. If it gives us the origin form, that would be sick. But for some reason, it's a green circle and a first ball catch. Never gonna say no to a bad one of these in terms of a 1-star. Before we forget though, let's TM away Frustration. And don't forget, the best way to do that, I'm going to show you right now. Rather than going to the individual Pokemon and trying to TM Frustration off of it, what you should do is go to your item bag, scroll down to your charge TM, and then just search at Frustration. And so you can see I've got all my Shadow Shinies and things like that. You can literally just go through tap, tap, boom, done. If the game doesn't lag horribly. And it will automatically remove the non-Frustration ones from this list. So you can literally just go through bing, bang, boom, done, done, done. But that means we've got this research completed, and it's going to give us probably a very disappointing encounter. It's a Persian. Actually, it's a boosted dust Pokemon. There we go. Was your Giratina better or worse than mine, or are you waiting maybe to get something else? Because I know some people stack the rocket research, which you can do, but that is auto-completed on the research, get ourselves the dust and the TMs, and now we are back to regular stuff. We have to find these things. There is a collection challenge, which obviously takes the whole week, but I wouldn't feel too pressured. It's quite a good one though. Collection challenge, defeat all the Rocket Grunts that have the new Pokemon in them, gets you a Rocket Radar. We've got 3 Tandemaus checks in here, and let's see if we can get ourselves another shiny, because we've still got a good chunk of time on that event to run. No shiny in check number 2. And this one was a trade. It's not shiny and very much nowhere near a hundo, but there is one other thing we can do on the back of this event. We've been working on the 7-kilometer event eggs, and we just about got enough candy to be able to evolve this thing. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait until the night time to be able to do that, so I'm gonna put the evolution in here, so we can kind of fake it till we make it. It's not only really awesome to be able to pick up that 100% randomly from that batch of eggs the other day, which was honestly, I love a hundo chase, particularly something that's quite rare and in the egg pool, but to get the brand new one evolved with enough candy work and walking it a little bit as our buddy, there is the dex for Frosmoth. Awesome to have that thing added to the hundo collection, and a hundo dex no less. So let me know, have you got enough Snom candy? Are you kind of waiting, or you know, I know 7 kilometers of event eggs are not necessarily everybody's bag. So glad to have picked it up. Certainly won't be doing any egg grinding until something significantly better comes along, let's just say that. 3 more Tandemaus. So this one not shiny, unfortunately. I'd love to pick up some more. That's a no on that one. An elusive hundo to evolve it. Oh, it's a shiny one. 359. That's good. Adds it to the total. A few more chances to evolve for the shiny family of 3. I mean, the likelihood is not going to happen, but obviously 359 is pretty low on the scale of things, but it's another shiny. Oh, there's a Kecleon there. Hiding away. Always love a Kecker's check. And that's a hatch and egg. No thanks. Power up 15 times. No, not worth it for 3 rare candy. And it doesn't have a blue stripe on it. We have 8 7-kilometer event eggs, and there's still a chance of getting a shiny Charcadet from these, which is honestly like the only thing we need from it. The Snom are just spares at this rate. And of course, we're getting loads of them. It's not the end of the world. There's a Charcadet. It ain't a shiny one. And far-fetched and a Charcadet. This kind of demonstrates that the shiny odds from eggs are, yeah, never terribly good. If you get a shiny from the eggs, congratulations. Honestly, you're playing a serious role of RNG on that. 93. And any extra juicy goodness? No. And a bicycle's appeared. So I'm going to take this time to say a massive thanks to every single person who's on the Patreon supporting this channel, the content, and me as a creator, because you guys really do make a massive impact and difference in us being able to travel to live events, travel to communities, bring the best content that we're able to do here on the channel. So for that, I sincerely say thank you very much to each and every one of you. You are critical to this channel's progress. Let's go with that. It's no. Goodness me, it's not a Galarian Articuno shiny. I know the audio is going to be messed up there. I was hopelessly unprepared for that encounter. I was trying to catch an XXL Darumaka. It's not a shiny Galarian Articuno, but 1621. For once, we can go to the top of this page. 1621, 1641 would have a possible potential. And good news, it didn't crash. I haven't got ice burn on or anything like that. So, snipe an excellent on it while it's up at the top of the screen. 1 roll, and out. And a second chance, would you freaking look at that? We are going to give this a... Okay, I'll say we'll give this a shot. With a terrible throw. I can't do that counterclockwise. 1 roll, 2 roll. It's gonna flee forever. This is what I was actually trying to catch. It's an XXL Darumaka. Oh well, we've seen the Galarian Articuno today. That's something. Without having to... In fact, that was the last spawn of the Daily Adventure Incense. Christ, thank goodness I caught that. I don't know. I'm really struggling to find the Shadow Fletchling. I mean, this is a flying type, but I've seen 5 flying type grunts so far today, and all of them have been picky pack. Oh my god, thankfully it's a Fletchling. Obviously an easy takedown, and at least it didn't give us the middle one. That would have been very problematic. Collection challenge. We get on the Rocket Radar, which I think is good, and 2 more checks for 1's a Tandemaus, a 355, and this one is a non-shiny. Oh, 3-6. 2 o'clock means we've actually just done a Sierra rocket balloon. Balloons are every 2 hours. Good stuff. Get your Rocket Radar before those 2 hours get completed. It's not a Shadow Shiny, and 230, I think it's a little bit worse than the one before. And that's going to wrap up day 1 of the Team Rocket takeover. And of course, tomorrow is the final day of the Cozy Companion, so you can still go and chase that shiny Tandemaus and Snom if that's your bag. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this latest Team Rocket takeover event. It's cool to tick it off, but I'm more hyped, of course, about the weekend with Shadow Shiny Kyogre. We've already made mention of that. Don't forget we have the World Championships event starting on the Friday and kind of overlapping with the exclusive Pikachu as well, so multiple events overrunning each other is going to be tricky. But if you enjoyed what you saw here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and stick with me. And anybody who has done, thank you very much for joining the channel. Appreciate your support. Check out some of the other videos here available on the screen if you want to keep watching what's available on here. We've got some great stuff over the last couple of weeks and months. It's been a pretty insane summer season in terms of RNG and luck. But I will say, until the next time, peeps, do take care.